What's up guys, hello and welcome to another episode of the India Darshan travel series. So that behind me is my budget friendly hotel. It's called the Hotel Royal Night, and as I showed you before, it's on the main street and it's a walking distance away from the Sabarmati River, and it's 6 p.m. I just got here a few hours ago. So as you can see, the sun is starting to set now. In about an hour there will be sunset. So I'm trying to go take a walk towards the riverfront and enjoy a nice sunset. And this restaurant also has a few, so the hotel has a few restaurants around. So there's one here, there's one upstairs. So some dining options right here as well. And I think I see a coconut water vendor, so might as well grab some coconut water because I drove in extreme heat earlier today. That's very refreshing, and there are lots of parrots up there on the tree. The noise that you're hearing, those are parrots. I think those are the ring-necked parrots that I showed you at the zoo before, the black ring-necked parrots from India, indigenous. So that's my hotel on the second floor. I think I have a room facing this side as well. I don't know which one is it, but should be somewhere there. Love how the city roads are so wide and they have like proper pedestrian crossings everywhere. That's really cool. This is like a very modern city, and to some extent the roads give like a Dubai-like vibes. There's a lot of traffic cameras, people drive in their lanes, at least what I've seen so far. It's like a very well-managed city. So far I'm really liking it, and I'm trying to learn the characters. They are quite different from Hindi. Like the first one I know is lassi, second one is masala chach, but the rest is hard to read. So compared to Hindi characters, the Gujarati characters are somewhat different. It takes a while to adapt to it. But yeah, maybe if I spend some time here, Gujarat is a very big state and it's my first time here. So I might get some immersive learning experience over time. And I was also looking for some famed shops for the local eateries, like the Gujarati cuisine. Turns out, yeah, the fame is rising, but the quality of service is dropping, so that's a little bit risky. What I intend to do now is to just look for more like street vendors or roadside shops, and wherever there is a good crowd, I'm just gonna wing it instead of looking for the famous eateries on Google instead. So this oncoming traffic is coming from Subhash Bridge. I think underneath flows the Sabarmati River, and across the bridge should be the riverfront park where I'm trying to go. So let's see which side has a better view. I think the other side should be good to see the sunset behind me. Looks like I'm kind of lost finding the pedestrian passage. There's like big walls, but I see people walking over there. So maybe Subhash Bridge is also accessible for pedestrians, and that seems like a shortest part to get to the other side of the river because I don't want to miss the sunset. Let's take that route. And there's a temple down here as well. First time seeing a temple in the underpassage. But yeah, there's a local guy who stopped here. I was checking his phone, and then I asked him, and then he said, yeah, the crossing over through the bridge is the only way to the other side. So luckily I learned about this sooner, otherwise I would be spinning around in circles because there's no other way to cross this. So let's take the shortest route in eventually. Oh yes, that's more like it. That's the river. Cross over to the side, probably somewhere there. Probably on that side should be the riverfront promenade, which should give us a nice view of the sunset behind us. And looks like this mission is gonna be successful. That bridge on the other side, if you can hear the horn, is actually a railway bridge. That's a goods carrier crossing over to that side. Nice. Loving the vibes here. That white train is the Vande Bharat Express, one of the fastest trains in India. Didn't know it came here, but probably from nearby states of Mumbai, there is good connectivity because this is also a very big city, not the capital of the state, but still a very big city. So it needs to be well connected. There is also an airport here. Probably there is a bus station, bus depot as well. So very well connected. Epic sunset. It's still setting, still nice and orangish over there, but it's a bit hard to capture that, and I want to use the little bit of the residual sunlight to get to the other side of the promenade. I think there's some parks and some nice things to see, so that would be cool to see while there is still some daylight left. And I think these are some ghats that you can see, so people might come here to do some prayers. I see some flowers and coconuts and stuff, so maybe this is a nice prayer site as well. And there are some temples close by, so maybe it's used by them. But yeah, very lovely, clear sunset. That's amazing. Didn't expect this. I think I'm one level too low. I see some trees up there, so maybe that's where the riverfront park is. This is more like a promenade for biking, jogging, walking right by the Sabarmati River. So let's try and go one level up and see what's up there. Maybe that's where it is. And there are way too many of these bittermints all lined up. I don't know why they decided to go with so many of them. Okay, that does more look like it. They have a very big sundial out here, and there is also a chart how they make corrections in the time based on the sundial. That's really cool. It's been a while since I saw a sundial in the park. That too, so big. So I think I've done a fair bit of exploring here. It's quite humid despite being the waterfront, but we're gonna exit and start looking for something to eat. Maybe try a couple of different things if I find a setting like that, or dine at one restaurant altogether. Let's see how things work here, because this area is new and I'm just gonna keep walking around and see what we find. So this eatery corner is right at the end of the lane from my hotel, so it's like a short walking distance. Has a bunch of shops clubbed together. There is buttermilk, there's tea, snacks, Gujarati snacks, Western, well, Indo-Western snacks, and a whole bunch of other options. So I'm gonna hang out here, have a light meal for dinner tonight, and then tomorrow we start exploring the rest of the interesting sites in the city of Ahmedabad. So see you after a short break in the morning.
The next day.
So the first stop that we are exploring today is the Gandhi Ashram, also known as the Sabarmati Ashram, by the banks of River Sabarmati. This is the place where Mahatma Gandhi used to stay when he was not in prison, not out on a protest, and several years just prior to Dandi March, once he left once and for all and didn't promise not to come back until India got its independence. So this place has a lot of significance, and we're going to start exploring now. This is the weaving wheel that Mahatma Gandhi designed. This they are selling this as a souvenir for $250 each. For four-wheelers, the parking might be a bit tricky, but for two-wheelers, the parking is right here on premises, and I think it's free entry. You just enter your name in a register and your personal particulars, and then you are good to go. pretty big premises. It has at least 9 spots of interest for you to explore around the campus. And this is right by the main road, and that's the Sabarmati River behind. These huts have been so well maintained, and the campus is so nice and peaceful. Really liking it. Oh, that must be the four-wheeler parking there. So this is Hriday Kutir, the residence of Gandhiji and his wife from back in the day. And you can go inside if you remove your shoes and slippers. That's Kasturba, or in short, Ba, Gandhiji's wife, and that's her room. Nice, there's even a guest room inside. So there's like a one room for Gandhiji up front, but it has some grills on it, so not a clear view inside. Then there's a bar's room, and then there's a guest room. Pretty nice and spacious. And this structure basically keeps it cool even in the heat. So right now there's no fan or any ventilation whatsoever. They just open the doors and windows, and it's nice and cool inside. That's Gandhiji's room with the spinning wheel and some seating capacity. So the parrots are happily chirping away. So that behind was the ashram where Gandhiji and his wife stayed, and now I'm walking to the river banks. It's right here. So it's close to the Sabarmati River, hence the name Sabarmati Ashram, or because Gandhiji lived here, also known as Gandhi Ashram. So there you have a very nice and peaceful view of the river banks. That's the promenade. I think I was somewhere there just watching the time-lapse sunset from this side, and then that's the entire Sabarmati River in front of you. So really nice place, and he had a very peaceful, quiet corner. And there is also the chronology of his life listed out here. Unfortunately, he was assassinated at the age of 79, but until then he had a very eventful life. So pretty cool place dedicated to him. There is also, I think, his Samadhi is in Delhi, Rajghat, so you could also visit that, but he has a very strong influence in Gujarat given his origin. Found the collections of their weaving wheels. So this is the finest thread that was weaved by Kamal Ammaji in 1924. Is the finest yarn, and if you keep spinning and weaving, this is the kind of cloth that you can get. It looks like a regular cloth, but this is like hand woven, so it takes a while. But this is iconic. Every time you see this, you think of Mahatma Gandhi. So back in the day, this kind of hand-woven handloom industry used to be very prominent in the Indian culture, but with modernization and industrialization, we are walking away from these kind of hand-woven material because their cost is comparatively higher to machine designed fabrics. But yeah, I mean, this is a completely different experience compared to what machines give you. Yeah, it all started here and then went there. So modernization and mechanization of the handloom industry. So we have made it to Bhadra Fort. I think it's as old as the city that's behind this building. So trying to maneuver around. So there's a big marketplace here. There's also a temple here. We're going to explore the temple and the market afterwards. I want to check out the fort first. So that's the Bhadra Fort. Would have been cool to go all the way up there and get a bird's eye view of the city. But guard bhaiya sitting here just mentioned that, there's all this renovation going on, so you can't go. Lovely massive gates. So this one's behind me is a Kali Mata temple. It's called Bhadra Kali or Nagar Devi temple as well. It's a very beautiful deity inside. Did the darshan, and then we're gonna start driving around a little bit, and then we'll move forward to find the next spot. The effort was a flop, but didn't know this before coming here. So we've made it to the next spot. So this place behind me is known as Dada Hari Wow. Wow in Gujarati basically means a step well. So I've seen a lot of step wells when I was in Rajasthan. I want to see what's it like in Gujarat because this also is like a very hot and dry state. So they need to make step wells. Well, they needed to make step wells back in the day to store water. So let's check out how this looks. Oh, it's so further deep in the ground. I think that's ground level or this is ground level. And then we're going lower. There's two of these kind of staircases on both sides to go down. This is the full depth. It's very deep. This is the ground level. And that's the main well I was seeing. So they say even till today it collects rainwater. And they used to have ropes and pulleys back in the day. So now there is not much renovation and stuff. And there is a mosque over there. So that's the mosque of the Sultan who built this area. It's the Sultani Mosque. Not going in because I'm wearing capris. Normally inside a mosque you need to be fully clothed. If you try to go in, they probably have to tie a lungi around you, so that's a bit of a hassle. But oh, lots of squirrels. They're dining on corn seeds. Oh, nice. And that's an Indigo airplane. So the airport is really close by here. I've been hearing a lot of planes fly by since yesterday night where I was walking by the Sabarmati River. And after this, we should start looking for something to eat. So after spinning around in circles for a little bit, I found this nice shop. I think it's called Sriji Khaman House. Had dhokla and forgot the name, but those were like the smooth chickpea flour rolls. And then I learned another dish that I want to try next. It's called dabeli. It's like a snack. So that, and then they didn't have the buttermilk, which would have made this a very authentic experience. I had to drink Pepsi for now. But I know the shop next to the hotel anyway that serves buttermilk, so I'm gonna grab it at some point. But yeah, for the past, I don't know, half hour or so, the Google has been going nuts and kind of spinning me around in circles. And those black round fruits that you saw me buy, that was Jamun. So remember the tree I showed you in Bhangani Sahib when I told you Jamun fruit? That was the fruit. So I got those big black fruits and then he sprinkled some masala on top. So you just shake it well and have it with the masala. Because if you have it just like that, you probably are going to have a sore throat. So we normally have it with some salt or some masala to nullify those effects. And I only grabbed 100 grams because it's very hot and I don't have access to a fridge. The guy was a little bit sad. He said like take at least 250 grams, and then I explained and then he was okay with it. So that was just 20 rupees. And those are very big jamun. So gonna enjoy this at some riverfront at some point later during the day. But for now, let's see what else we can explore while we are here. So for our next stop, I've come to this urban forest developed by Symphony, which is a company right across the street. I think they make coolers, if I'm not mistaken. The name sounds very familiar. But this is the urban park, and it's getting very, very hot because it's 2 p.m. So let's go find ourselves some nice shady spots. They've made some lotus ponds, and there's a koel bird that's singing here as well. Some of these birds are like very, very reactive to whistling, so if you whistle, they respond back as well. But yeah, it is in some spots. Oh, this bench is under the shade. Let's grab this one, and it's much shadier. Not a super massive park, but at least it's a nice and cool shady area. That bamboo grove in front gives you the feels of a mini Arashiyama grove from Japan. It's a small grove, not that big, not that deep, but still, if you didn't have a chance to go visit Japan yet, you could get like a mini preview of what's it like here. So it's nearly 6 p.m. and I've made it to my last hangout spot where I'm gonna enjoy a nice sunset. I made it to the Kankadiya Pond, which is a circular, very big pond. So this is gate number 2, I think. That's where the two-wheeler parking is. And then we are trying to get closer to the pond, have some fruits and enjoy a nice sunset. So the entrance ticket is nice and simple, 10 rupees, right by the gate number 2. There is a ticket window. Just grab your ticket, scan the QR code and you're good to go. First time at this pond, but I can tell from the maps that it's a massive circular pond and there are actually 3 gates. This is the 3rd gate that I landed up at, where I was told there is parking. So if you come with public transport, you can get down at, I think that was gate number 1, where there is also a pedestrian entry. But if you have your vehicle, you need parking space. So this was it. Wow, this is a massive, massive pond. I think there are some toy trains because I see the tracks here. And I just saw a boat cross over there, so I'm guessing they do some sort of water activities to keep the families entertained. I'm gonna find a nice spot and enjoy my fruits first, and then we walk around a little bit. Looks like they have some other activities as well. There's a nocturnal zoo and stuff here, and that board says archery and things. So guessing there are additional activities paid extra. So 10 rupees doesn't include any of this. But I'm just going to enjoy the walk by the promenade and take in the sunset views, and not interested in activities. But if you are coming with family, for example, and you want to entertain your younger ones, there's a whole lot for them to do as well. So that was Dabeli. Around the activity zone, there are a bunch of eateries. So they keep inviting you to come over, cross the tracks and go to the other side. I saw Dabeli when I was having Khandvi and Khaman this morning. So I was tempted to try that. It's kind of like a variant of vada pav with some peanuts inside as well. So that was cool. Now I'm trying to get to the diagonally opposite side of the lake. I think I've walked almost halfway through to try and see the sunset over the lake. That should be cool.